So, dear members, good afternoon. Welcome to the 2019 Annual General Meeting of FAU. My name is Alice Low, and I'm the Honorary Secretary of FAU. Today, I'm the moderator of the meeting for tonight. I will try to ensure the meeting will proceed in an efficient way and everybody will have a fair chance to participate in the meeting. I have a few announcements to make before the start of the meeting. Firstly, I would like to confirm that you have received the following document. The annual report and the stack of the motion papers. So please look there for those who have already submitted your paper proxy or proxy online earlier, you will not receive any motion papers. For those members who are holding the proxy forms, please make sure you have received the equivalent amount of the motion papers from the reception desk. If you are holding more than 5 proxy, our staff will give you a white paper to register the number of proxy instead of giving you the exact amount of motion papers. We hope that it will be easier for you to manage the stack of the papers. Anyone who does not have any of them, please raise your hand and let us know. So the motion papers will be used for the agenda 2, 4, and 8. You should have 3 motion papers in different colors. We target to end the meeting at 6:30, and our dinner will start at 7 p.m. To show our gratitude, there will be a special lucky draw during the dinner to reward the members to coming for this meeting. Now I will leave the panel to FAU Chairperson Vera to start the meeting.
Hello, dear members. Good afternoon. Welcome to the 2019 Annual General Meeting of FAU. I shall preside at this Annual General Meeting as Chairperson of the Union. First of all, I shall introduce you to the rest of the Executive Committee. Dora, our Vice Chairman. Tim Wong, our Honorary Treasurer. Eugenia Zhang, EXCO Member. Julian Yao, EXCO Member. Kenneth Kwok, Vice Chairman. Alice, she introduced herself already, our Secretary. Michelle, EXCO Member, and Jenny Tang, EXCO Member as well. So, FAU rule states that a quorum of at least 50 members is needed for this meeting. So now we have 57 members present, so a quorum is formed. I declare that the Annual General Meeting of the Cathay Pacific Flight Attendants Union of 2019 is commenced at 17:07. We will stop accepting proxy for the meeting now at 17:07 as well. In here, we would like to have your cooperation in order for a smooth process of the AGM. No phone calls and no photos taken of the slideshows later is allowed during the meeting, since we do not want any unofficial information to leak out without the true fact. If members would like to know more about any of the agenda items, please feel free to contact the EXCO team or the FAU office for more details. With the consent of the floor, the notice convening the meeting will be taken as read. Now we shall proceed with the agenda items. Thank you.
So for Agenda 1, to adopt the agenda of the meeting. Today there are 11 agenda in this meeting. You may refer to the PowerPoint or your annual report for all the agenda today. Now I will ask the floor to adopt this agenda. Please note that we cannot add any new agenda item at this stage, as the agenda has already been sent to all members. We can only allow the removal of any agenda item by voting with the members present. If there are any members object to this agenda, anyone? If there is an objection of any agenda item, we will need to vote by showing of the hands. So if no objection from members, then we may proceed to agenda 2. Approval of minutes of AGM dated 11 May 2018. Members can read the previous minutes of AGM 2018, which has been uploaded on the FAU website on 23rd May 2019. If members find any discrepancy in the minutes of the AGM dated 11 May 2018, of which it did not correctly reflect what had been discussed in the meeting, members should notify FAU and we will cross-check and make the amendment where necessary. Members are advised not to merely vote against without raising your concern or opinion, or if you did not attend the AGM on 11 May 2018. So are there any questions regarding the minutes? So if no question from the members, I now propose the following motions. To consider and, if forfeit, pass the following resolution to approve the minutes of AGM dated 11 May 2018. Any member second the motion? May I have your name? Alex. Thank you. So Alex second the motion. I now put the motion to the floor. Motion 1, to consider and, if forfeit, pass the following resolution to approve the minutes of AGM dated 11 May 2018. Now please fill in the motion 1 bullet form, which is peach in color. Our staff will collect your form now. The result will be announced at the end of tonight's dinner party. So everyone already submit your motion papers. Then we will proceed to agenda 3.
Hello, member. I would like to draw your attention to the fact that the auditing week account under review at the AGM is from 1st of March of 2018 to 28th of February of 2019, which is the usual financial year of the FAU. The report has been attached to our annual report as well as in the FAU website. So if the additional copies are also available at the FAU office for members who may be interested. Please look that there's a page of the audited financial report explanation for the income and expenditure items on the last page of the report. and I will explain some of the highlight of the logs. The first one is the affiliation fees has significantly dropped due to the decision made in Hong Kong CCF in-house meeting held on 14th of January of 2019. All the unions in Hong Kong CCF agreed to discontinue the contribution of the membership fee since the fund has already reached 800,000 Hong Kong dollar. And when the fund of the CCF is down below 500,000, the contribution of the membership fee has to be contributed again. More details we'll explain to you at the agenda 9, which is the report of the CCF. And the second one is the legal and professional fees. It includes the professional financial consultant fee for year end 2018, and the new FAU logo design, and also the legal advice for the tax exemption of the retirement fund for the retirement age extension. And the third item I want to draw your attention is about the members' welfare expenses. The regular spending under this item includes the life insurance coverage for members, gift for 2019 retirees, FAU keychains, and Chinese New Year red pocket for the members. However, in this financial year, we have reimbursed 344,000 to honorary member Ms. Courtney Zhong for her legal fee happened years ago for the retired travel benefits court case. So, is there any question regarding for the financial report, which you may still find in the AGM report? Or any item you want to discuss? Okay, if there's, or anybody want to have a look on the AGM report, we have some more copy over there. If you want, please raise your hands and then our helper will give you the copy. So if, okay. Okay, so any question? If you need more time, you can come back to ask us again later during other stage, and then need some more time. Or maybe we give you maybe 1 or 2 more minutes to have a look first. Just once again, if some member just came in, if you haven't put your lucky draw to the boss, just feel free to give to our helper. So once again, is there any question regarding for the financial report? If there's no question from members, may we proceed to agenda 4? Okay, for the agenda 4 is about to appoint the auditor HT Wong and Corporate Limited for the financial year of 2020 to 2022. We would like to propose appointing the same auditor for FAU of the financial year 2020 to 2022. Allow propose the following motion. to consider and, if thought fit, to appoint the auditor H.T. Wong and Corporate Limited for the financial year of 2020 to 2022. Any member second the motion? Thank you. Okay, Carol second the motion. I'll now put the motion to the floor. Motion 2, to consider and if thought fit, to appoint the auditor H.T. Wong and Corporate Limited for the financial year of 2020 to 2022. Now please fill in the motion 2 ballot form, which is yellow in color, and our staff will collect the form now. The result will be announced at the end of tonight's dinner party. So everybody has spoke. Then we are going to proceed to agenda 5.
Okay, agenda number 5 is to receive EXCO progress report. To be very frank, you may or may not aware that in the past year, your EXCO team has made a tremendous effort on different issues, which we were all related to enhancing our benefits and rostering practice. A detailed report has already put in the annual report. If you haven't got one, we encourage you to get one from the outside the reception desk. However, we would just highlight a few significant issues to your attention. First of all, you will all see we have our very nice uniform T-shirts and jacket, right? Which is designed by Eric Kwok Man Fai. If you are Hong Kong people, you must know him. So we like to bring a new image to FAU because FAU's logo haven't been changed since 1975 when FAU was established. So it was quite Keying already. So, right, yes, very nice design. And we also hope members like it as well. We also changed the website logo and all the stationeries, everything with the new logo already. So don't be surprised if we see this logo from now on, okay? So number 2 is the JCP pairings, which I'll pass it to Tim again.
Yeah, for the JCP pairing, I would like to recall your memory about the flight pairing simulation we got from Jefferson last year. As you can see, there's a lot of the integrated pattern or the shorter stay. So in view of that, your EXCO fund is necessary to sign the agreement of the flight pairing agreement with the ISD. So we put in the last year end. And then it was not that easy, and we only able to sign it until the very last minute of the year end. So, but the agreement only lasts for 2 years. So that means if there's no one going to run the FAU or ISD is refused to sign to renew the agreement with us, and then the agreement will expire in the December of 2020, which means next year. So you can expect your roster will have a very big change, and then it may be similar to what Kopiku having now. So I'm going to go through some of the conditions of our agreement. For the first one is about the regional flight, and then we will not have any integrated pattern or no more than 2 setups per day. As you may know that our Quebec crew, just for example, they come back from Osaka, they still need to operate to Narita. Or for KA crew as well, they will have 3 setups per day. But for us, we managed to have only maximum 2 setups. And then for the Middle East flights, there's not less than 24-hour layover for Middle East flights, and only for Tel Aviv, not less than 45 hours. And then for the New Zealand flights, other than RSR, the layover not less than 40 hours. And for the Australia flight, there's more pattern because we have quite a number of different sectors for different flights. And so other than RSR, only one pairing with less than 23 hours layover. And then for other pairing must be more than 39 hours, 30 minutes. And if for 3 setter, there must be more than 30 hours layover. For 4 setter, must be more than 54 hours day. And the most important is for the long haul flight. Now we can have more than 45 hours day for if the flight is daily. Well, actually, for all the conditions we have mentioned just now, is based on the pairing or the pattern we were having in the past. So we can manage to get it back and then to maintain it. But just as what I mentioned before, if we cannot renew the agreement, you can expect the layover will be shortened a lot because they pay a lot of the money to the Japan. The aim for them is to maximize their feasibility, and then they can use the manpower, which is us, as a very maximum extent. So please be prepared to fight back if they don't want to renew. And then just so this actually for the JCP, just for the pairing is the first stage of the Japan. And the second stage is about the rostering. What does this mean is about the GD arrangement. For example, now just for the 4-day long haul, we have 4G after. For 5-day long haul, we have 3G. For 3-day Australia, we have 5G after. And for Indian or for spirit duty, we have 1G after. Actually, all this requirement is not the legal or the CAD requirement. It's only the rostering practice. So that means just next year, if we cannot reach the agreement about the rostering practice with the ISD, you can expect your G day in the future will be minimized. And then just in together with the flight pairing agreement, if we cannot renew it, you can expect your roster will be very different from now. So just pay attention. So in case any rep group or any dispute or anything happen in the future, please show your support. Otherwise, you can imagine what your roster will be look like. Yeah. So.
I will talk about the third item. We fought back the room service menu. It should be used when time spent in hotel is less than 12 hours or less. So basically, just for your information, and some of you may have known, if you have taken into account, have looked into Yammer or something, ISD has always been trying to explain that 12 hours, it's from the time that you land into airport until your departure. But actually, why we had this agreement in the very earlier stage is because we want to make sure that our members is going to have to maximize your rest in the airport. So that's why we will ask the the ISD to provide a room service menu to our members. So after we put this agenda with the ISD for a few times, we're able to reason it out with the company, and after all, now all the stays in the hotel, it's the time span that counts. Okay, so make sure that if, let's say your flight got delayed, for example, or Shanghai or Surabaya, those are the flights most of the time got disputes. So make sure once the time you arrive into the hotel, then that's the time you count the 12 hours. Otherwise, you should get the room service menu prices. Okay.
Okay, in October last year, Kansai Hotel changed. In October, that you may remember, the ISD announced the change of the Kansai Hotel from the Nikko Kansai Airport that we used to stay in to the Moxie Osaka Downtown Hotel. And then FAU objected the change, not because ISD disregarded the value of hotel visits that we used to practice and also the comments we have made in the visit report, but more is because there would be a drop of the 40% allowance when we move the new hotel, and it's indeed a big cut. So also with the members, we have received a lot of the emails, and also we had actively initiated several actions to state our objection to such change, not only sending emails to the ISD management directly, but also we initiated an online survey on Facebook on 22nd of October, so as to gather our members' view on this issue. And after all, within 8 days, over 3,000 members have voted no, as they do not want to stay in the new hotel when there would be an allowance cut. And finally, the issue had been resolved, and with our member support, the whole arrangements has been cancelled, and we are able to continue to stay in the airport hotel, and that's no change for all. And you may see for this, we can see the unity has strengthened the union, and it is always your comments and your feedbacks, and also your really the initiatives that help us to strengthen the union, and your support is very important. And for the next item will be the retirement fund that will not be taxed for the extended 5-year contract from after 55 until 60. Because in last year we have signed the extension of retirement age agreement with ISD on 4th of October. And after that, we have still a lot of the follow-ups because we have asked for the exemption on the tax on the retirement fund. And over months, not only we urge CX to seek an answer for the government on the exemption of the tax from the Inland Revenue Department, more precise. At the same time, we also actually FAU have sought the legal advice proactively to submit our letter directly to IRD to pursue on this matter. And finally, the good news come, and IRD had handed down the ruling in general and confirmed us that the retirement fund, which has to be collected before the 5-year extension, would not be taxed. Indeed, we are grateful to see the outcome after the long-standing pursuit on this matter.
For this taxation issue, I want to stress on the point that it is actually not CX initiative to do so. It was actually EXCO's initiative to do so. We are the one that actually trying to look through all the taxation law to find out the loophole, and then we pursue against ISD, asking them to apply for the exemption. In fact, they're very reluctant to do so, but we've been pushing very hard so that to get the exemption of the taxation at the end. So this is one of the important role of the EXCO. Don't think that the tax doesn't go to the pocket of CX, but they will still not willing to do so to protect the employees' right. So therefore, EXCO's role is actually there to do as much as research and do as much as study as we may to protect members' right, even though company is reluctant to do anything for us, but EXCO is here to do the things right to protect members' benefit. So this is something that what we wish to remind the EXCO to be. This is an area that all the EXCOs should work on and should get the support from the member at the same time.
Shall we move to number 5, number 6, sorry. It's the achievement of the year-end 2018. We have to say that this year-end was very not easy, and we try our very hard to fight for our rights, especially the flight flight pairing agreement. It was very hard. So anyway, point A, we have achieved that for post 96 term BC, on completion of the 7 years of service in the BC category, they will receive 8% increment per block hour rate, and it's effective in April the 1st this year. So it's a big achievement because we know that the promotions pace has been slowed down for quite a lot, and some BC who has to work more than 10 years before they wait for promotion. We noticed that its sentiment is quite an issue, so that we have been fighting for senior BC allowance since 2016. In the 3 years, we have been fighting hard so that the senior BC can be initiated and their morale can be a little bit raised before they promoted. And in this year end, finally we successfully fight for them. And for some people who say, why don't FAU fight it earlier? Because some have been promoted just now and they are not entitled for this progression allowance. But we have to say that we have been fighting this issue for 3 years. And not that we don't want to fight for everybody, but you know, the agreement, every agreement has to draw a line. Even for us, we have been promoted for some years, and we also want to fight for ourselves, of course, but every agreement has to draw a line, so that it has to, we don't want to sacrifice anybody, but I'm sorry to say, but we have to draw a line, and we have been fighting it for hard. And for some SP and FP, they say, why we don't entitled for progression allowance. Actually, we have been fighting for FP and SP. In 2010, we have been fighting for FP progression allowance. After the completion of 3 years and 7 years, FP are entitled to the progression allowance. And for SP, we also fight for them. In 2013, we have successfully fight for SP progression allowance. Anyone who has been on completion of 5 years of service, the SP will have a 10% of the increment on their rate. So we have been fighting for FP, SP, and BC. So if anyone asks, please tell them. Thank you. Also for point B, the salary pattern who changed from 4 days to 5 days. As Tim said before, the agreement of the pairing is, he has said it in detail, so I don't go in details. Except salary, I want to stress that salary in terms of region, it is in the Middle East, of course. But in terms of service, in terms of the flying time, it's kind of similar to the European flight pattern. So it's also because of the demanding flight, everybody may know that there's been a lot of special meal and the high demand, quite high demand of the passenger. So we know that it is a need, that is a need that we have to fight for the salary pattern to gain it longer for the cabin crew. As in last 2017, we already successfully fight to gain more recuperative G after the flight. So it's for 4 days pattern is from 2 cooperative G to 3 Gs after, and for 5 days it was originally only 1 G. And we already successfully fight it to 2G after. This is also our achievement. But we know that it was not enough because it's really a tough flight. We have to change it in terms of the layover hours. And in this year end, we successfully, and we fight very hard to extend the flight pattern from 4 days to 5 days. But you may ask why I still can see some 4 days pattern. Why in some months, such as February and March, we still see some 4 days pattern? Because in the agreement, we have some exception. And it says that there's an exception such as if it's an ad hoc situation, if there is an aircraft switch. Also, if the flight is not daily flight, also if it's a tech flight, it's not applied to this agreement. So in February, for example, it's not a daily flight. That's why you may see there were still 4 days pattern. And it's very practical, and it's about the company business. So we cannot say that you cannot have 4-day pattern. We cannot say that. So we have to strike a balance with the company business. That's why, we have this exception. Also, for the details of the agreement, you can find in the FAU website. May I suggest you take a screenshot of the agreement, so that when next time you receive your new roster, you may check whether it's complied to the agreement. If you see any abnormal agreement, you can check with us. Abnormal roster, you can check with us. Also for point D, I think the output allowance, what group, Kenneth will have a detailed account on it, so I don't go through it. That's it for me. Thank you.
So are there any questions from members regarding the EXCO progress report? So if no questions, then we may proceed to Agenda 6 to receive the report of the output allowance work group.
So I suppose everyone is very interested in this topic. So just like Michelle just said, since the year end of last year, we had formed a output allowance work group with the company. So this work group is formed by FAU, FOP, and ISD. This is basically to find ways to modernize the calculation methods for the allowance. I'm not sure if anyone has taken a deep, detailed look into the allowance calculations. If you have, you may find that the laundry, the overnight, it's very complicated. For overnight, it will be like a taxi to a close by bar that you can purchase 2 small pints of beer, and the taxi will count from here to there with a flag 4 and stuff. It's very, very complicated. And that's why a lot of our members having disputes with Mr. Donald Morris, and also with us as well. So that's why we would try to form this work group with ISD and see if there's any other ways. And also during our year end, the company keeps saying to us that the reason why the hotel is going downhill, I would say, it's because the method of payments of the allowance. So that is also some of the topic that we have to look into it as well. So as you can see on there, there is 3 main concerns that we targeted in this work group. The first one is to simplify the calculation method. The second is to avoid a huge drop of allowance when there is a change of hotel. And the third is to seek the way for allowance distribution to lighten the burden of hotel administrative work. So this is basically to maximize the choices for the company to choose. And in terms of distribution of the allowance, I believe a lot of people may think, will it be paid by salary? Will it be paid by account? That we are still not sure yet, because that is still ongoing, the whole meeting. But the thing is, we have already put our concerns to the company already, that tax will be a problem, right? But actually, ISD and FP already promised that the company has taken this into account, and they said so far they know that Hong Kong, one of our cargo company, is doing the allowance by the account already. solve on their paycheck, and the tax was not a problem. So that is something that you can release. Is there any questions?
Yeah, I just want to talk a little bit more about the allowance calculation. Not only for the laundry and the overnight allowance, actually for the meal allowance, for example, for the dinner or for the lunch allowance, now is calculated based on the menu of the restaurant. But actually, there's the trend that, for example, in the USA, they are not going to have the high-end restaurant in the hotel because, for example, for the JFK, there's so many restaurants near in the downtown. So if we choose the hotel in the downtown, most likely they only have the bar, and then which only serve the burger or some pizza, which is the light snack. So if we are going to move to those hotels, the allowance calculate, for example, there should be the steak for the dinner, etc., but they don't have the steak, they only have the beef burger. So if we use the beef burger to calculate the allowance, it will drop so much. So that's why we need to find the new way to calculate the allowance. Otherwise, in the long run, we will lose a lot. So that's why we want to form the work group and then to see how we can maintain our allowance level when there's a change of hotel, and we can still maintain at the high end of the hotel as well. So that's the main purpose. Yes.
And I just want to add on one thing. Since the work group is just started, so we only have 2 or 3 meetings with ISD, so it's just so preliminary at this stage, so we cannot tell you any more at this stage. However, since, as you may also know, that until now there is no EXCO team being nominated, right? So all the work groups and meetings with ISD will be postponed on hold until further notice, until a new team is formed. So just want to let you know about this. Yeah.
Certainly, Eliza. Hope it's not from your friend.
I think the overnight allowance.
Could you speak louder?
Okay, the overnight allowance, I think it's long way back. By the previous EXCO chairman, David Ngan, they said it's because of FOP. The pilots, they want to have a beer or something, they travel 2 kilometers by taxi and then 2 beers. In a way, it was like 機頭佬帶挈我哋㗎，即係 this overnight allowance. This overnight. Do you get me?
No, we don't get it.
No, it's those days from David Ngan, those days, okay, the overnight allowance is from the cockpit crew, from FOP. They negotiate like travel 2 kilometers to somewhere to have a beer, 2 beers. So that's why we cabin crew also get it.
Could you explain to us your rationale of this sharing?
No, I'm just saying, you guys were saying why.
No, we are not saying why.
No.
We're saying the calculation of this is very complicated. That led to a lot of issues and questions. So that's why the whole entire allowance work group is aimed to simplify the calculation so that everybody would have a clear definition and understanding of the allowance calculation, so that nobody would be in doubt when they're facing delay or when there is a hotel change. So there's no dispute behind the rationale of this overnight. We're not saying that we should cut away the overnight.
Okay, fine. Because there's a new calculation now, so I just wonder how it's going to be. And also, long way back, early 90s, there were meetings. ISD would like to have a new calculation or proposal. It's called, those are senior enough, OMA 88, OMA 98. It's according to the flying time of the flight to calculate the allowance. But those days, like Zurich, 3 days Taipei, because of the flight pattern, the layover, there will be like drop or gain. So somehow, this proposal dropped. It didn't go through in the early 90s. And later, it came out, we heard, like they give cabin crew credit card. So whatever you're entitled, let's say over in London, you can spend £300. You sign cards, whatever breakfast and lunch, dinner. So towards the end of the month, if you overspend, you have to pay for it. But if you spend less, then fine. And also, there were rumors those days, meal coupons, which is very scary. Like you're entitled to have all these things, to lunch.
Thank you for sharing something back at 90s. Let's talk about today.
No, I'm
today,
so
today
scared.
the
so
aim
scared
of this
will
allowance
implement,
workshop, we aim not to have our allowance cut. That's the aim.
Yes, thank you.
So,
thank you. Yes.
And I don't know how the EXCO, make their negotiation at that time, but right now, today, the first thing that the EXCO should get from the management is that the expenses, the total, the data that they have in hand, how much allowance that they are actually giving to the community as a base, so that the aim of that is nothing lesser than the total expenses as of now. Of course, when it comes to inflation every year, that should be top up the inflation. So this is the aim. So if I don't know how the EXCO at that time did their work. So if they don't have the data of how much actually Cathay is giving out, then having a cut is, I think, understandable. This is what CX is trying to do. But then at this stage, we already have the data from CX, how much is that they're paying as the output allowance. So we're not, I believe the future EXCO should aim not to have a single cent cut from that total. So that should be the direction. Otherwise, I don't think cabin crew should agree on the direction of any cut of allowance. So that's the principle.
Also talking about the beer for the overnight, because you said it's copied die heat all day, but nowadays we have the AOD, so it's a requirement that crew cannot consume alcohol or anything approximately 10 hours before the duty. So it's definitely a whole die heat if we still keep this beer allowance. So it's definitely something to concern in our new agreement.
I think the days of 機頭佬大協我哋 already gone, because nowadays a lot of AOA members actually came over to FAU asking our help to do something when it comes to a meal allowance. When they find a discrepancy, they actually take the initiative, come over to our office asking us to help, and a lot of time it's been sorted out. So I think the days of 機頭佬大協我哋 is over.
And I would like to add something as well. Just for information, as I said, this work group is only formed by FAU, ISD, and FOP. AOA was not included. So it's not really about pilots gaining for us anymore. And for your information, to reply to you, they did have a few suggestions to us regarding the allowance calculation or distribution. For example, there is an index that we can take a look into, but then your EXCO already counter-rejected because the index that they shown us, the allowance is actually lower than what we are getting right now. So that's why you don't have to, if for now your EXCO is basically fighting very hard to maintain our allowance, and the company already told us there is not the work group is not formed to drop any allowance or to gain more allowance. To the company standard, it's if they can keep like what we have right now, that's what they are trying to do as well. So yeah, that's.
Before we move on, just welcome a few of you just come in, and I just want to announce that the lucky draw for the meeting will be cut off now. So the next one come in will not qualify for the lucky draw. Uh-oh, I announced already.
Just one more quick questions about the room service allowance agreement. Right now, ISD say that our allowance is based on the menu rate without any discounts, right? But for the room service practice, will they apply the discount before calculating that allowance? Because in one case, for Surabaya, the room service allowance is actually even less than the hotel breakfast amount. Yeah, I think I've also emailed Donald Morris about the situation, and he said, yeah, that's correct, because the room service menu is cheaper than the hotel breakfast, so we get even, although it's not much, but we still got less than the hotel breakfast menu. So I'm not sure if the company will be aware of that, and maybe they will do something about the room service allowance in the future. Yeah, just want to clarify about that one. Thank you.
Actually, for the just for the meal allowance, there's below discount, except for the breakfast. So when you talk about for the breakfast room, the room service menu, I'm not sure whether so you mentioned about the breakfast. So this should be another case for the breakfast. But for the lunch and for the dinner, there shall be low discount and no cool menu, only for the menu of the restaurant or the coffee shop. Yeah, except for the breakfast. So is it clear for you? Actually, for the detail of the FAU agreement of the allowance, you can have a look on the FAU website. It mentioned that, yeah, only apply for the breakfast.
So yeah, I understand FAU trying to apply the room service menu is to hopefully have a better treatment for crew, right? And expect, because usually from, I think the most crew community will expect the room service menu to be a bit more high, the price to be a bit higher than the restaurant breakfast menu, right? But just to let you know, it's not always the case, especially if they apply discounts to the room service menu.
Yeah, maybe you're correct, because to be honest, we cannot control every hotel, because every so different hotel have different menu. For example, when you talk about for the Highlander, as you may see that for the 542, if we use the room service menu, we can get 2,000 to 3,000 yen more. But only for the Surabaya, we get maybe around 20 Hong Kong dollar less. So, but for other hotel, we get more. So we cannot just, if we can get more, we stick on the room service menu. If we get less, and then we use the buffet menu. So we need to stay on the principle. So we need to use the same principle for all the hotel. So that's what we are doing now.
And also Nagoya Airport Hotel. I remember I saw a post in the lift that room service, you must go down and you take it yourself. Jenny, delivered to the room is one of the agreement of the hotel, right? I mean, room service must deliver to the room.
Eliza, no. I would suggest you to have a look on the agreement first, because we don't have that kind of the clause in the agreement. And for the Nagoya Hotel, I don't know which Nagoya Hotel you are mentioning. You are talking about the airport or the downtown one, but we don't receive any inquiry from our member. So I would suggest you to send us the email, and then we can check for that, because we don't have every information of every hotel now. But we don't see, and in the agreement we didn't mention that the room service must be delivered to your room. I don't think we have that specific. No, I can tell you firmly, no.
Eliza, the world is changing, and also the agreement won't say so specific, because of the airport hotel in Nagoya is a kind of I would not say motel, but it's a very low graded hotel, so it we understand that there is no room service actually in that hotel. So you cannot expect the hotel attendant, the room attendant, to send the dinner or the supper to your room. Even though the crew entitlement for the dinner box, you have to get it from the restaurant, right? So that is the case. You cannot expect that high with that kind of low-graded hotel. And it's not stated in the agreement that room service has to be delivered to your room. No such perfect agreement in the world. Yeah. Yeah. Once again, please move on, move beyond, okay?
So any other questions? If no, we proceed to Agenda 7, to receive the report regarding the productivity issues.
Before we talking about this issue, I really need to remind all of you again, please, no photo taking of any of slides about these issues. It's very sensitive information we will show it to you. For this 70 hours issue, FAU EXCO was branded a lot helping those members who were asked to be interviewed by ISD in regard to their low flying hours. For those of you are not familiar with this issue, may we take this opportunity to recap the background of this 70 hours for you. First of all, the objective of the MGFP is to provide reasonable earning stability for our hourly pay crew in all circumstances. What's meant by MGFP is the minimum guaranteed flying pay for every hourly pay crew each month, 70 block hours. It introduced it in 1996 September when the first induction of hourly pay crew, the first contract, but it's only at that time it's only 55 hours. And in 1998, it increased from 55 to 60. In year 2000, it increased from 60 to 70. And members asked us, have we asked our lawyer about this concern from the members? Of course, we did. FAU has sought legal advice in regard of this issue. The reply was, it is a legitimate expectation for the operator over their employees to fulfill the minimum flying hours pay. That means CX have paid us 70 hours. They expect us to fly 70 hours. As EXCO and as a cabin crew, we fully understand that flexibility is most important in cruise life. However, if you were the EXCO who need to handle this issue in a very neutral way, how could you assist this group of members who fly only 20 to 40 hours each month, consistently for over almost 2 years, but get paid for 70 block hours every month, which the company is paying $1 million on the top-up hours every month. Your EXCO tried very hard to liaise with ISD all along to obtain as much information as possible to assist this group of members. For example, like to fight for a longer monitoring period before the warning letter is issued at a level of buffer hours. Now, as you see in the slide, this is a document. Jenny, would you mind showing the whole document first? Not this one. Yes. This is a document in year 2000. but I don't think any one of you still keep this. For me, I joined in 1997. I joined as FAU Exco after the 2010, the 70 hours swap dispute. I only saw this document, black and white, from CX. I saw it in the file in the FAU office when I was Exco. What kind of this document talking about? It's a letter from cabin crew line manager to all the hourly pay crew. It stated that the objective of the MGFP is to provide reasonable earning stability for all hourly pay crew in all circumstances. That means, like during the 2003, the SARS, if the company cancel a lot of flights, so they don't have enough flying hours for the hourly pay crew, right? But they will pay us 70 hours. This is the main point of this MGFP. And the next slide, this one, I show you, you must have a look. First of all, the first sentence in yellow highlighted is what I taught before, and the last sentence, the second sentence, with effective from 1st of September 2000, there was an increase in minimum guarantee hour from 60 to 70 per month, bringing about better income protection. And the next slide, it clearly saying that the last sentence, please look that should you swap away flights resulting in less than 70 block hours, you will not be entitled to this minimum guaranteed pay. It's black and white from Cathay. Don't take any photos, okay?
The reason why we ask you not to take the photos is we will have very smart members who send message to people department, which does not benefit us. So we don't want these smart members within us here. So don't do this, okay? This is something that we do not wish Cathay to have, and do not want to remind Cathay that they actually have such a letter. Probably during the time that they moved from Kai Tak to Chet Lap Kok, all these documents are gone. So that's the reason why we're trying to make it very low profile, so nobody actually, they won't actually get to know this. And we believe it is a protection for all the crew members, because the current EXCO right now is fighting for buffer hours for all the hourly pay crew, because we believe hourly pay, all cabin crew should be eligible for certain level of flexibility. So even though it says that we should all fly up to 70 hours, but we still believe there should be certain flexibility sometime, somewhere. So if they get to know that they actually did declare this, and it is the background of the minimum guarantee, for sure, don't talk about legal, don't talk about anything. The principle is there, and you just cannot swap away. Yes, the true fact will be 60 hours, you get a warning. This is what some of the crew members who are in low dam, we call them, trying to spread such kind of message, saying that, oh, 69 hours you'll get a warning, 69 hours you'll get interview, which is not true. And this is what FAU been doing in protecting the members. So that's why last time we just sent out an email asking members who actually did call back for an interview if they fly up to 60 over, still got call for interview, please contact FAU. There wasn't one single email coming back. So some of us are trying very hard to attack FAU, using every opportunity, saying that FAU is not doing anything. So I wish the members in here could actually, knowing the background, should be aware of it. This is something very dangerous, not only to you yourself, to the entire community. If people is trying to use some single issue for their personal agenda and to attack the FAU, it's actually not only affecting you yourself, but every of us. So this is also something that XCO2B have to pay attention to. So to be frank and honest, this low-down community been attacking FAU too hard and too serious on the social media platform continuously and maliciously. So I think that's the reason, one of the reasons why the current EXCO decided to give a chance to some new one to run the union, because we don't think this is fair to any of the EXCO right now. While we are doing our very best to fight for the best for the entire community, but single individual based on their personal agenda, non-stop attacking the union, and yet the saddest part is those who understand the fact did not say a word. So for not saying a word is actually supporting them to attack the union.
And as our pay crew, it's very important for us to keep this minimum guaranteed fine pay. Without this, for hourly pay crew, our job is really nothing, no protection at all. You don't know what will happen tomorrow. I understand you all, including me as a father, I understand how the flexibility of our crew life. We lead it, I lead it also. But really, all of us, we need to protect this one, especially I want to let the next term of EXCO know it's very important to protect this one. For the one who always bring on us, why not you sue the company or anything you want to do? The problem is when we talk to our lawyer, one of the things is even you swap under 70, CX haven't stopped to pay you 70. Is one fact. During all these years, a lot, I can say a lot, or some of the crew still swap very, very low fine hours. But cafe still pay you 70, and CX have the agreement with our union. They will not use any swap regulation against who want to swap under 70. So why nowadays you still can swap under 70 to fit your flexibility of your crew life? We really want to protect this. That's why, like Dora said, we try our very hard to talk to the company about the buffer hours. It will be the very hard duty for the next term of the EXCO. But I only can say, try your best. That's all I can say about this item as an hourly pay crew. Thank you.
So, is anyone have questions?
Okay. So I'm just concerning about this document. Is it a reply from the company, or is it included in the terms and conditions of the agreement, that statement on that MGFP thing, saying that if you swap less than the 70 hours, they don't give you the minimum pay? I just want to know, is it included in the terms and conditions of the agreement, or is it just a reply from the company? Because I'm concerned about the legal effectiveness for this agreement.
That's actually an official communication when they review the minimum guarantee from 60 to 70. Yeah. So you can see the day is actually at 2,000. So it's not in the COS. If you want to have a clearer picture, it's the same thing as you trying to employ a domestic helper. It doesn't actually say that they would have to wake up at 8:30 or 8 o'clock and then work until, it's the same thing, similar thing. So in most of the service condition, it will include the protection that the employer provides to the employee. So I don't know if I have answered your question.
So is anyone have any questions? So if no, we proceed to agenda 8. To consider and if forfeit to approve the amendment of FAU Rulebook, Rule 5.4. Extraordinary general meeting may be called by the executive committee or at the request of not less than 15% of the total number of qualified voting members of the union.
Maybe before you vote, maybe we can take this opportunity to give you a little bit more background of the rule change, because the EXCO find that the participation from the members to union, especially union meetings like this, is very, very low. Just now when we started the meeting, it was only 57 members present. But later on, there will be hundreds of them coming for dinner, right? So we see that to lower down the request members to call for the meeting. Actually now the rulebook set is 1/5 of the members. So let's say we have 7,200 members. 1/5 is approximately 1,440. So we just want to lower down to 15%, which is around 1,000. So hopefully more members would come for FAU meeting, or in that case, if they find out that the agreement that the EXCO signed on behalf of them with ISD, they are not satisfied, or they want something to change, they can call for a meeting themselves. So it's just benefit for members and the EXCO as well. So that is the background. Any question before you cast your vote?
So if no questions, I will propose the following motion: to consider and if forfeit, to approve the amendment of FAU Rulebook, Rule 5.4. Extraordinary general meeting may be called by the executive committee or at the request of not less than 15% of the total number of qualified voting members of the union. Will any member second the motion? May I have your name, please? Kelvin, thank you. So Kelvin second the motion. I now put the motion to the floor. Motion 3, to approve the amendment of FAU Rulebook, Rule 5.4. Extraordinary general meeting may be called by the executive committee or at the request of not less than 15% of the total number of qualified voting members of the union. Now please fill in the motion 3 bullet form, which is peppermint in colored. Our staff will collect the form now. The result will be announced at the end of tonight's dinner party. So everyone submit the form. Okay, then we proceed to agenda line. To receive updates from Hong Kong Cabin Crew Federations.
Right. So as you may be aware, we are a member of the Hong Kong Cabin Crew Federation. So some of the issues that happen in during this year would be one of the major issues would be the closure of British Airways Hong Kong base, and there was during the closure of the British Airways Hong Kong base, there was a kind of dispute on their redundancy. So after several rounds of protests and the union pursue, so finally they have an agreed settlement on the whole redundancy of the base. So that's the importance of having union with you. So no matter the company is ongoing or it faces a closure, the union is there to protect members' rights. So this is something that happened. But of course, very soon, because of the closure of British Airways Hong Kong base, so one of our members will be gone in this organization. So, and the next report will be actually on the membership contribution that Tim mentioned earlier on. Supposedly, each branch, each member should contribute $10 per month to per member per year to Hong Kong CCF. But then due to the fact that there is accumulation of membership fee up to right now is approximately 1.5 million already. So that's why a proposed agenda, a resolution on the membership been done in the CCF in-house meeting. That is to stop the contribution as soon as the membership fee, the pool reaches 800,000. So this is exactly the case. We have 1.5 million right now. So that's why all the branches, including FAU, will cease the contribution of the membership fee until the monthly fee drop to 500,000. So that is the reason why, that is the background of why FAU stopped the contribution to CCF for the time being. And during this year, CCF did initiate a meeting with Hong Kong Airlines. As you're aware, the background of having CCF is actually to gang up all the aviation employees. So which includes, we hopefully wanted to help is all the low-cost carrier, including Hong Kong Air, Hong Kong Finnair, Hong Kong Base, Blue Crew, all these small unions. So we want to stick together so that to protect every aviation employees' rights, so that we all get united and get protection. Very sad, I believe you all read through the news. Hong Kong Airlines is facing tremendous financial rumors attack. We don't know how true it is, so that's why Hong Kong CCF called for a meeting to meet up with the management of Hong Kong Airlines. And of course, as usual, they deny, and a lot of changes on their operation as well. They're now using Sabre as we are using Jefferson. But sad enough, they do not have a union. So that's why now they are doing what we are supposed to do: Hong Kong, Taipei, Taipei, Osaka, Taipei, Osaka, Osaka, Taipei, Hong Kong. So this is something that no matter what system they are using, the aim of the operator is actually to give the employees as much sectors per day as they may. So, so that's the reason why we do not wish to see any of the aviation employees suffer. But sad enough, they're not having a proper union with them. So CCF is trying to do something to protect them, but it's very difficult because they do not have a union. Yet we're still trying. We wrote to the Hong Kong airline management, but of course, because no official union, that's why letter is just a letter. They may ignore. So this is a lesson for every of us. Treasure the union while you have one. So that's about it from CCF this year.
So are there any questions? So if no, we proceed to Agenda 10, election of Executive Committee of the term of 2019 to 2021. And now we would like to invite Pushpa from Election Subcommittee to give us a speech.
Good evening, everyone. Nice to see you all here, and thank you for being here. At least all of you made the step to come here. So as you have heard all the things that we have gone through, you have seen how much FAU has achieved for us. And all this wouldn't be possible without each of you being here to support. So I'm here only to mention one thing, that this EXCO has done a lot for us, including all EXCOs ever that have taken this position and gone out to reach to us, think about us, consider us as important. And as you know, everything is not achievable. There are things that X says, I wish this, Y says, I wish that. They have gone forward to get the best solution for us. So as an executive committee, I'm here actually supposed to be with Arthur as well as Zion, who are not here with me. We are just here to encourage you to come forward, make this decision that you want to represent the EXCO, because this term and this team wants to step down. So we do need to have a team here to take on this role. And as of today, we only have 4 people who have come forward and are willing to take on this position. We do require 9 people in total, at least, minimum of 9. So I encourage you all to think about it, because it's easy to criticize. As Dora has mentioned earlier, there are also times when there are non-members who try to influence members, say things against, and get their wishes and voices heard through us without being a member. So anyone who criticizes and says, oh, FAU could have done this, could have done that, now is your chance to come forward and prove you could do more or achieve more. Then you'll realize how difficult it is to sit in their seat, wear their shoes, and face their days when they're disappointed. There are days when talks break down, but what's important is they finally work for us. So I just encourage you all to think again. We have postponed till 10th June, the nomination period. You still have time. We will support you. And as the executive committee, we need people. And as subcommittee, we'll ensure it's fair. We'll make sure you get a fair chance to run as an EXCO. And now Julian will highlight things that would go wrong if we had no EXCO. And as you all know, we're lucky to have a union. There are airlines in Hong Kong who don't have a union, and they wish they could be, and you know which companies they are. So Julian's going to highlight for you things that could go wrong without an EXCO, which is, of course, no FAU. And what is FAU? Each one of us here is the FAU, and our voices are being heard through them. So I just want to emphasize, you still have time. There are many of you who are pretty vocal. Don't use means like WhatsApp to pull down the union, or go on CX Secrets with pseudo names, which is really silly and cowardly. So it's better you write directly to FAU when you have things than go back, bicker, backstab, and stuff like that. Because it's not just for things that we fight unanimously. They are fighting for individual crew and their problems. I do know as of today, even there was a crew with an issue. She can go to them in confidence. They do consult their lawyers. They bring out the best in us and the team. So this is what the EXCO is all about, and I leave it to Julian to highlight these important issues. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Now, what will happen to FAU before the new EXCO team is elected? First of all, a low EXCO team until the new team is elected. And the nomination period will keep extended until the new team is formed. And we announce now, first of all, from tonight 12 o'clock, the 24 hours emergency hotline will be stopped, suspended. And then all of the followings will be on hold. All the meetings with the ISD, like the regular meeting, ISD or OCM meeting, will be stopped. Even the allowance work group, any induction talk, hotel visit, it will be stopped. And the most important thing is the year-end negotiation also. And the next one is the operation of the FAU office. Based on the RTU requirement, all the PO, the one who signed the check for the FAU, like the chairman or the vice chairman, they need to ensure the general office admin work remains normal, like the membership application and the staff salary payment. And then the FAU office may continue to answer inquiries from the member with staff's limited knowledge. But the thing is, FAU staff, they don't have any authority to reach the CX management to talk about any cases about our member, like grievances. But still, they will try their best to assist. And if FAU staff is not able to find a resolution for your issue raised, your patient understanding are much appreciated. That's what will happen from tomorrow until the new team is elected and formed. That's what we need you to know about it and let the members know. The office still will be running, the FAU office still keep running, but it will be in a very limited service. Thank you.
So as all the voting are already completed, so in order to ensure, so any questions? So if no questions, so in order to ensure all the counting of the votes in a fair way, so I would like to invite two volunteers to be at the screen here to monitor the counting process. So is Alex and Carrie, right? Thank you. So now I announce the meeting ended at 6:31 p.m.
Just quick, okay? Some people asking me to bring up these things, okay? Regarding the extension.
Your friend again, why your friend never,
okay,
never come?
Lots of ISM, okay? Regarding the
okay,
extension.
of course. I'm just wondering why your friend never come and never write to us.
They
only
have to
using
catch
your
flight,
mouth.
okay? They have to catch flight. They have lifestyle also, okay? Regarding the extension.
Next time, encourage them to directly write to the union. I'm just surprised every time you have your friend's question, but your friend never come to us and never raise their question
because
directly.
Because they know I always come to the meeting, okay? Extension, the terms offered. They wish union call for AGM to show them the final terms, because when it came out, it's like over 30 pages, and it's so much different to the slides showed 2 years ago.
Could you say it again?
I just want to say
clearly.
Okay.
Clearly, what agenda you're talking about?
Regarding the feedback, regarding the extension to 60, the terms offered. Okay, members which union call for AGM for the final terms offered instead of like signed, and then it came out 30 pages of conditions. And it's so different.
I think the agreement been signed and is processing already. It's the second. So, so are you suggesting the union to revert back and cancel the agreement?
It's just feedback
so,
from
just for your
Dora,
information, the new rule says that if 1,000 of the member is willing to overturn the signed agreement, they may do so. That's why we're trying to empower the member by amending the rules. So please let your ISM friend know that if they're not happy with what union did, and if they're not having time to say it in the past 2 years during the negotiation is ongoing, then please grab the time to gather 1,000 members to call for the AGM and ask the future EXCO to overturn the agreement. Thank you.
Dora, they are not going, their intention is not that. They wish union call
Well,
for
being
EGM,
a responsible
okay?
member, please say things at the right time and not only when the agreement is over and when EXCO done their very best to make this a goal. Okay? So when you say that, be responsible. Ask your ISM friend, be responsible to act at the right time. So don't act stupid and silly, only when the agenda already through and when people are mostly happy. Would some of the ISM crew will be benefit from this agenda, or the hourly pay crew member who will in the future benefit from this agenda? Please raise your hand if you're not happy with it. Raise up your hand if you're not happy with it. Oh, sorry. Sorry, Eliza, nobody is raising their hand. So please
Dora,
ask your
please,
ISM friend to write in at the right time and not to say things when the agenda has already gone through and passed and is processing,
Dora.
and when people are actually enjoying a chance to given a chance in extending. And we're talking about something that we have already agreed and signed. So you are saying that asking the EXCO in the meeting to overturn the agenda.
This is not the intention, it's just like a feedback. To recall what you said,
Well,
Dora, let me
I think
finish,
there is
please,
no
okay?
urgency, isn't it? If you're saying it's just a feedback, I really don't know why catching flight will make your ISM so busy that she don't have a time to write in the past 2 years during the negotiation and when the agreement has not yet signed.
Dora, to recall the meeting that about 13 ISM, meeting the EXCO, you did say, we are the EXCO, we can sign anything on your behalf. This from your lips, okay? Second thing, regarding the logo, I just wonder, any email sent to acknowledge members of the new logo? Because when they receive emails, they thought they were spam, junk mail. Because we have no idea about the new logo is rolling out, okay?
Thank you very much. It's really a very big issue. Thank you for your feedback.
Dora, is once in a year, members and I myself give you feedback, okay? 2 more points, okay?
Thank you. You're saying you giving us feedback or your friend. Please, just now you say your friend. So right now it's you?
And also, regarding the audit, okay, understood the EXCO and the staff are very busy, but the staff salary has gone up almost 1 million, 3 staffs has gone up quite a lot, okay? No comments. And
please make some then.
No, election
because you said only 1 year, you per annually, you can only make comment and feedback. So don't say after you stated something, then you say no comment. Please comment.
It's gone up quite a lot to almost 1 million for 3 staffs, okay?
Eliza, may I know which item are you talking about?
No, it's only staff.
No, I want to answer that. Which item are you talking about? Staff salary.
The staff salary on point.
Staff salary is not increasing. It's increased from, last year was only 931,000. This year, only 991,000. And we are not only 3 staff, 3 full staff, yes, but we have staff coming out. Because we cannot employ a full-time staff which work as a whole year here.
That's what you said on the report. I read that, okay.
Yeah?
May I comment a little bit over here? Actually, for the first time, I always say, actually, members can always give comment and feedback to FAU, which I always did. Whenever I have received anything or I have seen any grievances, I always write to FAU to comment. It's not once a year thing. All the time, the EXCO would reply to me through email, or even if I go to the FAU office, they always answer me, or even they have staff help me and pass their things or issues to the EXCO and reply me through emails. And then for the order of the meeting, I would like to raise it here. The meeting has been gone through, and then about the financial report, it was actually the previous agenda number what? And then it's been passed already.
This is a practice of her.
Then,
every year she does this.
Excuse me, and then I would like to bring it here and then to move it as an order of the meeting. The agenda has already been passed. If you have any question, comments, EXCO has already given the time for us to comment and then do the feedback, and it's already been passed. And then we cannot drag on the meeting like that. If you have anything, comment, feedback afterwards, I think the EXCO is always welcome to receive emails and then do the feedback and reply to them.
Thank you, Jenny, for explaining the clear concept and the principle of running the conduct of the meeting, which probably Eliza not aware of in the past many years from 80, right?
I just want to add something here, that if some issue is really important to a person and they care a lot for it, they should be here as well. It doesn't work very well always saying, I'm speaking on behalf of a friend. And besides, many of your friends could be non-members using your voice to get their information. So if something really matters to you, don't you think they should be here? And honestly, FAU did what they could do best with the extension of retirement age. If it doesn't suit you, stick to the original plan, leave at 55, because most of us got our support from Hong Kong people, okay? The Hong Kong crew. I salute all of you from Hong Kong. I love you because you thought of your future. You live in Hong Kong. It's not possible to live here without any income. It also gives you that identity. You have this feeling, I know I still have this job. It is your option to leave. No one's going to, I definitely know the management's not going to come, knock your door, beg you, hey, please stay on, please stay on. No one's going to do that. You got this option. You're free to choose. And also, I like to say, if someone's really unhappy, you don't need to wait till 55. Go now, go today, go at 40, have dinner and leave, okay? So if you are speaking here for non-members and voicing out and just here to pull down the union, it's really not in good, it's in bad taste. That's all I can say. How many of you think of ever writing to the FAU and saying thank you for what you did? They do respond to every single message. As I said, a union is for collective bargaining, but they are handling individual queries and problems in full confidence. In full confidence, okay? You won't even know what your left ear may not know what the right ear heard. That's what I mean by confidence. So it doesn't work very well every year saying, I speak for my friend and this and that. Where is this invisible friend? Why can't they be here if it means so much? That's it. So I'd like to salute the union again. Thank you so much. And I'd like to remind you all, please come forward. Think of being an EXCO. I promise you I will support you and be there for you. And so will our lovely EXCO team that we have. So let's stand united. Not always try to point fingers. You know, remember when you point a finger at someone, there are 10 pointing at you. That's it. Thank you very much.
My sincere request to Eliza, I know you don't like the current EXCO, but please treat the EXCO to be well, because every individual of them must have a good courage to come out to fight for the rest of the member. So please, be friendly and fair to the EXCO.
Please work with them, not against them. Work with them. We salute everyone who's ever been an EXCO and done anything, even for you for that matter. But remember that we work with them, not against them.
So there is no other comment, and I'm now announced the meeting is end at 6:42 p.m. Thank you for attending the AGM.
Thank you all.
And the lucky draw for AGM meeting attendees will be conducted at the AGM dinner. If the winner won't join the AGM dinner, they can collect their prize on 14th May or after. Thank you. For those who are not staying for dinner, thank you so much for making an effort to attend the meeting. Hope to see you again next year. And for those who attend the dinner, you should have the wristband on your hand. Yeah. And members who have dinner's ticket in hand but have not yet got your wristband yet, please contact our staff now.
Okay, thank you all for making your effort to come for the meeting before the dinner. Thank you very much. And this may be the last time we see you all in the AGM meeting, so thank you very much. You can enjoy to have a drink outside first while the hotel staff will need to rearrange the tables and everything here. So please enjoy a drink outside. Thank you.